Well, guys, Matt Eberflus was able to find a way to snatch defeat out of the hands of victory with 2 weeks to prepare for the Washington Commanders, who threw a Hail Mary with no time left on the clock that fell right into the hands of Noah Brown for a 52-yard touchdown. A 52-yard touchdown that needn't have happened as the Washington Commanders held the Chicago Bears scoreless until there was 43 seconds left in the third quarter, which in my estimation would be really an indictment, if you will, of Matt Eberflus' lack of preparation, Shane Waldron's lack of a cohesive offensive script. The only time that the Bears looked like they had any kind of grasp of the system or control over this game was when Caleb Williams was freelancing at the line of scrimmage with the game on the line. And it should not be that the Chicago Bears are being better coached by their quarterback than they are by the people that are being paid to be the coaches of this team. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Let's break down a little bit about what happened. And we're just going to go with statistics, and you can make what you want of it from there. All right, guys. So finishes 10 of 24 for 131 yards. Now, Caleb Williams did not have the best of passing games, but did come through in the fourth quarter, giving them an opportunity for 2 touchdowns, of which Caleb Williams, I don't think, is going to be the person that called on Doug Kramer to run the ball. Guys, I can't make this up. We're not making this up. With the game on the line, either Shane Waldron or Matt Eberflus decided, hey, you know that guy who's not a running back? That's the guy we should give the ball to, who immediately fumbled the ball, turning it over in the end zone, costing the Bears a touchdown, which in fact is now the deciding factor of this game. Now, to be clear, in the event that that touchdown did not happen, or in the event that that touchdown did happen, this game would have played out dramatically differently, and the Bears would have had a chance to score again, meaning that the Bears in this instance could have won with 22 points to 18 versus where we ended up with a loss at 15 to 18. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 129 yards, a touchdown. Roma Dunze, 3 receptions, 41 yards. And guys, I can't stress this enough. This is an absolute embarrassment for the coaching staff of the Chicago Bears. Now, if you are a Bears fan, you have to support your team, of course, but you have to be questioning at this point the decision to continue with Matt Eberflus. This team is dramatically improved. You see the statistics, you see the product on the field, you see the lack of quit that this team has. With 20 seconds left, they take the lead in a football game. They scored 2 touchdowns with 15 minutes left to go to take their first lead in the game. They score a 2-point conversion to make it 15 to 12, just in case the team can march down the field and get a field goal and tie the game to take it to overtime. Now, look, you can say what you want about the defense having a lapse at the end of the game and just allowing a random errant ball to just fly into somebody's hands. Sure, we don't want to see that happen. But this would not be the case if the Bears had a clue, I want to say. And no matter what, this is Shane Waldron's lack of preparation and game planning. This is Matt Eberflus. This is their lack. Look, if you are Kevin Warren at this point, you have got to be making a decision here that this cannot continue, that these guys cannot be in charge of your football team. Now, if you speak to Ryan Poles and Ryan Poles disagrees with you, then Ryan Poles should be gone as well, because you cannot have this type of performance. And by the way, this is not a testament to Caleb Williams not getting it done. This is play calling. This is motivation. It is not Caleb Williams' job to motivate the entire team to be prepared, to execute, to do everything that needs to be done. It is the responsibility of the coaching team. And this team, with 2 weeks of preparation, came in ill-prepared. And dare I say, this is exactly what it looks like at the beginning of last season. This is what it looked like at the beginning of this season. This is what this team looks like coming in cold with a little bit of time in order to prep and plan for a game. And what you saw was the Washington Commanders physical, Their physicality was winning out for the entire game. We can't take anything away from the fact that the Bears did find a way to have 2 touchdowns at the end of the game. Look, Caleb Williams is that guy. Caleb Williams will have an astounding career for the Chicago Bears. DeAndre Swift has redeemed himself remarkably from a very poor start. But again, dare I say it, this is a matter of play calling and the clear lack from this team of a game plan. Now, at this point, if you are not looking at this and getting disgusted with Matt Eberflus, if you are not disgusted with the game planning of Shane Waldron, of the preparedness of the offense and the head coaching staff, then you are not watching the games play out. The Bears have fallen to 4-3 now, which basically means that their ability to make the playoffs is now in jeopardy at this point of the season. And listen, there are plenty of 8-8 or 9-8 teams that can go into and make the playoffs. But number one, you should have beaten the Washington Commanders. There's absolutely no excuse for not beating the Washington Commanders, except that you were ill prepared. You should not lose to the Indianapolis Colts. There's one victory in here that you might have argued, and that was the Texans. The Texans were a playoff team last year. The Indianapolis Colts were not a good team last year. The Washington Commanders, not a good team last year. The Chicago Bears were a decent team. So the Bears are now losing to teams that they should not be losing to. And by the way, that takes nothing away from the Washington Commanders, who are having an excellent season. That takes nothing away from the Indianapolis Colts, who, without a quarterback, are having a tremendous season. But it is a testament to the lack of coaching that is taking place in Chicago right now, that this team, which is not greater than the sum of its parts at this point, has fallen to 4-3. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Look, I am on a rant today. I do. This bothers me a lot. This bothers me because this was a winnable game. And by the way, the emotions are up because you don't want to lose on a Hail Mary. Who does that? It really, Matt Eberflus coach teams are the only teams that lose on Hail Marys. Do you know what I mean? Like that's it, absolutely bonkers. And it's not really about this game. It's not really. It's about a testament to you shouldn't be losing to the Colts. You shouldn't be still trying to find your identity. You shouldn't have a quarterback going 10 for 24 at this point in the season with no touchdowns against what is becoming one of your rivals. Clearly, at this point, Caleb Williams is not the rookie of the year. He does not have the coaching staff to be this rookie of the year. And when you reach out, Matt Eberflus, we're going to go back in time and we're going to remember the moment where we thought at one point Cliff Kingsbury was going to be the offensive coordinator in Chicago. But instead, he ends up going to Washington and the Washington Commanders so that Matt Eberflus goes with Shane Waldron. And look, I don't want to take much away from Shane Waldron. I think the guy is a great coach and at least a good coach. And while he makes questionable decisions, he does at least seem to adapt his strategies to make this team. Look, DeAndre Swift was not working. DeAndre Swift is now working. The passing game was not working. The passing game suddenly started working. So this game may be an outlier, and we might look back on this and say that this was a learning experience. But the only thing that I've learned from this experience is that Matt Eberflus cannot be the head coach of this team any longer. And the fact that the Chicago Bears will let him sit and rot this team until the end of this season, in my opinion, is a travesty. If I'm Kevin Warren, I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at 3 wins in a row, and I'm saying, you know what, guys? I like the fact that you were able to beat the 3 worst teams in the league. Congratulations. But you're not beating anybody else. Well, let me say the 4 worst teams in the league. You've beaten the 4 worst teams in the league, but you've fallen to one playoff team and 2 mids. So what is this team? This team is no better than its head coach, and its head coach right now is not very good. But again, I want to know what you think in the comments down below. We'll get back to normal content again on Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to bear down and F Matt Eberflus at this point.